엑스맨 다크 피닉스 스페셜 인플루언서 인터뷰에 오신 여러분, 인플루언서분들 다시 한번 준비하신 모든 손 대표해서 제가 감사의 말씀 드리겠습니다. 저는 오늘 진행을 맡은 MC 유튜버 이승국입니다. 반갑습니다. 반갑습니다. 이승국입니다. 잠깐! 또 그런 댓글이 달릴 거 알아요. 이승국씨 언제 올리냐고. 조만간 또 올릴게요. 찍어 올릴 거예요. 근데 오늘은 또 다른 거 영화 찍어 온 게 있으니까 영화 영상 한 번만 더 올릴게요. 양해 부탁드립니다. 아무튼 오프닝 영상에서 보셨다시피 또 어디를 갔다 왔어요. 이제 개봉한 영화죠. 엑스맨 다크 피닉스. 얼마 전에 내한을 했었잖아요. 감독님이랑 배우분들이랑 제작자분들까지 왔었어요. 거기에 불러주셨어요. 저를. 그래서 갔다 왔어요. 감독님과의 만남. 정확히는 약간 그런 거였죠. 저번에 엔드게임 제가 가고 초청받았던 그런 이벤트처럼 유튜버분들이랑 블로거분들을 모아서 감독님과 잠깐 Q&A 세션을 갖게 시간을 주셨어요. 그리고 이번에 감독님이 예전 엑스맨 시리즈부터 조금씩 계속 참여를 하셨던, 제작자로도 참여하고 작가로도 참여한 적이 있었고 이번에 처음으로 감독으로 참여하신 사이먼 킴버그 감독님이었거든요. 이분에게 좀 더 들을 게 있겠다 싶어서 가겠다고 했어요. 근데 그냥 가는 게 아니라 진행을 조금 맡아줬으면 좋겠다 라고 하시더라고요. 갔는데 방이 엄청난 거예요. 회의실인 거예요. 회의실 해갖고 저뿐만이 아니라 들어오신 모든 유튜버 블로거 분들이 깜짝 놀란 상황에서 그럼 내가 이걸 어떻게 진행을 하지? 온갖 생각이 들었던 그 현장을 함께 보실 건데, 미리 말씀드릴게요. 시작하면은 진행할 때도 그렇고 제가 별로 하는 게 없어요. 왜냐면은 그 현장에 통역사분이 오셨었는데 그분이 통역을 정말 너무 잘해주셨어요. 제가 나중에 그분 성함도 찾아봤어요. 너무 잘하셔가지고 조주연 국제회의 통역사님이에요. 이분이 뭐 정말 일사불란하게 질문 오는 거 대답하는 거 영어로 다 통역을 해주셔갖고 저는 사실상 영어 뭐 통역이고 뭐고 진행할 필요도 없이 그냥 자 다음 질문이요? 다음 질문이요? 이것만 하다가 편하게 앉아있다 온 영상이니까 대단한 거 기대하지 마시고요. 그리고 하나만 더 안내드리자면, 통역사님께서 통역해주신 거를 다 담고 싶었는데 조금 영상이 너무 길어질 수 있어요. 그 시간 자체가 30분 가까이 되는 시간이었거든요. 그래서 어쩔 수 없이 통역사님의 통역 부분은 조금 줄이고 자막으로 대체한 점, 혹시 통역사님 보고 계시다면 양해 부탁드리도록 하겠습니다. 첫 번째 질문 정도만 통역사님의 실력이 어느 정도였는지, 얼마나 제가 편하게 있었는지 간단하게 보실 수 있도록 남겨두도록 하겠습니다. 그럼 이제 오프닝이 쓸데없이 너무 길어졌으니까 현장으로 넘어가서 감독님을 그냥 옆에서 구경하다 온 이승국의 모습 보시도록 하겠습니다. 그리고 정말 마지막 안내 멘트 하나. 현장으로 넘어가기 전에 영상 처음 보신 분이 계시다면 구독과 알람 설정 먼저 해주실 것을 부탁드립니다. 해주셨죠? 해주셨을 거라고 믿으면서 진짜 현장으로 넘어가도록 하겠습니다. 하나, 둘, 셋! 새로운 힘이 깨어나고 모든 것이 무너진다. 엑스맨 다크 피닉스 스페셜 인플루언서 인터뷰에 오신 여러분, 인플루언서분들 다시 한번 준비하신 모든 손 대표해서 제가 감사의 말씀 드리겠습니다. 저는 오늘 진행을 맡은 MC 유튜버 이승국입니다. 반갑습니다. 바로 이 자리에 오신 감독님께 먼저 여러분 소개해 드릴 테니까요. 또 격하게, 저는 진행자일 뿐이지만 감독님 들어오실 때 우리 아까 환영했던 것도 조금 더 격하게, 이곳이 굉장히 공적인 곳이 아니다라는 걸 알려드리기 위해서 격하게 한 번 더 소개해 드리도록 하겠습니다. In this room, we have the director himself for the movie X-Men Dark Phoenix, Mr. Simon Kimber. Welcome to Korea.
Thank you very much.
Before we start the actual interview, would you like to say hello to the Korean fans in this room and the Korean fans who are watching this through the videos, photos, and the articles?
Sure. Hello to all of you. Thank you so much. Thanks for being a fan. I see a Marvel shirt back down there. I'm sure you're all hardcore fans, and so I appreciate it. To the larger audience out there, to the Korean fans, hello. Thank you for welcoming us to your country with such open arms. And thank you for over the years, as someone who's worked on the X-Men movies and the Deadpool movies and Logan, and you've always been so kind to us. You've always been such a supportive audience, such a reliable audience for us, and you've been a part of our family for a long time. So thank you.
네, 다시 한번 여기 와주신 분들 대단히 감사드립니다. 그리고 또 이렇게 카메라 너머에서 보고 계시는 한국의 팬들에게도 감사드리고요. 지금 마블 티셔츠 입고 계시는 분들도 있고 굉장히 좀 강력한 팬들이지 않을까라는 생각을 합니다. 네, 한국 팬들에게는 일단 너무나도 따뜻하게 우리 모두를 환영해 주셔서 감사드리고요. 이번뿐만이 아니라 4년간 제가 뭐 엑스맨 시리즈도 작업을 했었고 데드풀도 그렇고 로건도 그렇고 늘 전폭적인 지지를 해주셔서 다시 한번 감사드리고, 항상 보면은 저희에게 굉장히 좀 안정적인 그런 늘 지원을 해주시는 그런 관객이었기 때문에 다시 한번 패밀리로서 감사합니다.
어때요? 내가 말했죠. 통역사님 진짜 잘하죠. 예, 저렇게 하드 캐리 해주셔갖고 굉장히 편하게 앉아있다가 왔습니다. 말씀드린 대로 아쉽지만 이제부터는 자막으로 감독님 말씀 대체하도록 하겠습니다. 다시 영상 하나, 둘, 셋, 고! I know all of this looks really formal, but they're not. I can assure you that none of us expected this kind of room.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, and we didn't know we are going to sitting like this.
Right.
So think it as a casual meeting with your fans.
Great.
Yeah, and say whatever you want to say.
Awesome.
Okay, thank you very much. I heard you met Korean press this morning. I know you must be quite exhausted, but in fact, including me, all of us are quite famous YouTubers and bloggers in Korea whose
cool.
main contents are movies.
Cool.
So as fan of theaters and movies, and of course of fans of X-Men franchise, we all have some questions to ask you personally.
Awesome.
So do you still have energy to answer all the questions?
Absolutely, and I have sugar in front of me. I'm good.
That's great.
I'm going to have this macaroon to start.
Okay. Okay, then let's start with the X-Men franchise questions. I believe you have first question. 규님이 먼저 질문하실 게 좀 있다 그래요?
네, 엑스맨 시리즈가 굉장히 장수하는 프랜차이즈 영화인데요. 이렇게 오랜 기간 관객들에게 사랑을 받아온 이유가 무엇인지 궁금합니다.
Well, Q, I think it's a focus on the characters. I mean, I'm assuming everyone in this room has read the comics, and the comics have such incredible characters, such deep, complex characters, and we have focused, when we've gotten it right, we have focused on the characters first and foremost. And I think that's why it's been such an enduring franchise.
But if you think about the characters, when you make a movie, it cannot last longer than 3 or 4 hours, and you have to reduce all the stories. There must be quite many works to make a comic character comes onto the screen. How do you deal with that?
Well, I think you try to find what the essence of the character is, and then tell that in as little time as possible, to be as loyal as possible. That one of the things that's been great about being able to tell so many X-Men stories is that we've been able to explore a big arc of these characters that you wouldn't be able to do in one movie. So you've seen sides of Professor Xavier where he's, you know, a young man, a teacher, a leader of the X-Men, a person who has maybe some issues in this movie, and sort of everything in between, you know, a drug addict at one point.
Yeah, and
so,
lost his hair in the
lost his hair, had hair, lost his hair. So I think you know that's the beauty of being able to tell a franchise over so many years, is that you get to do more than you would if I just had 2 hours to tell the entirety of Charles Xavier.
Then let's go a little deeper to the movie,
Okay.
X-Men Dark Phoenix. We all seen the footage, and we can see that Jean Grey goes really dark and really strong in this movie.
Yes.
And I believe 멋진 기영 TV has some questions for you.
Okay.
네, 안녕하세요. 멋진 기영입니다. 지인 그레이가 마블 세계관에서 가장 강력한 히어로로 손꼽히고 있는데요. 이번 영화에서 지인 그레이의 능력이 얼마나 강력하게 묘사되었는지 궁금합니다.
Well, in this movie, she's not only the most powerful mutant, but because of being inhabited by the Phoenix Force, obviously, she's the most powerful creature in the entire galaxy. And that galaxy includes not just mutants and humans, but aliens. It was really important to me in this movie, as opposed to the other time the Dark Phoenix story was sort of handled in an X-Men movie, that the cosmic side of it, that the extraterrestrial side of it was present in the film. So this is by far and away the strongest we've ever seen Jean. It's by far and away we've ever seen, by far and away the strongest character. I mean, I don't even want to call her a mutant. It's the most powerful character we've seen in an X-Men movie before. And if you know the comic, which you obviously do, that is at the core of it. It's her struggle. What I loved about the comic when I was a kid growing up is that the most powerful creature in the entire world is struggling to control her power. And that struggle, like that core struggle, to me, is what defines the Dark Phoenix story.
And I believe about the Dark Phoenix saga from the comics, I believe Chonu has the next question.
예, 안녕하세요. 블로그 총우입니다. 접목하시면서 방대한 내용을 어떻게 접목했을 때 어떤 점이 가장 힘드셨는지 궁금합니다.
Well, the most difficult part was I really wanted this movie to be Jean's story and her struggle with the Phoenix Force. And I wanted to focus this movie on her and then on the impact her lack of control and becoming destructive had on the X-Men as a family. And as a result, what I felt like was there's elements from the original saga that you all know, that like the Hellfire Club, like some of the Lilandra, Charles love story, that I felt would take away from the amount of focus I could put on Jean's character. And so the toughest thing when you're adapting a comic book that's a massive saga that maybe wants 4 movies to tell as opposed to 1 movie, the toughest thing is deciding what you're not going to include rather than what you are going to include. And so, yeah, there's things that if this was a 10-hour TV series on Netflix or HBO, there'd be a lot of other subplots that I would have included. But in this one, since I really wanted this to be a singular experience, I really wanted to focus on Jean.
And answering the questions, you mentioned Dark Phoenix Force once or twice,
Yeah.
and I believe Minotaurus has some questions about the Phoenix Force.
Cool.
네, 안녕하세요. 그 니로타우루스 채널을 운영하고 있는 니로타우루스입니다. 먼저 그 푸티지 시사회 영상을 봤습니다. 정말 잘 봤습니다. 그 푸티지 시사회 영상을 보니까 그 액션 장면이 굉장히 그 액션 시퀀스들이 굉장히 조밀하게 잘 구성되어 있는 것 같아서 정말 좋았는데요. 그 장면들을 보다 보니까 짐 그레이가 그 피닉스의 선택을 받는 것 같다는 그런 연출이 있었다고 저는 좀 느껴졌거든요. 피닉스 포스가 선택한 사람이 굳이 짐 그레이인 이유가 따로 있었을까요?
First of all, I feel like I want to take a picture of you, but I'm not going to. It's like you're like the Korean Cyclops.
제가 이걸 안 먹는 이유가 있어요. 이걸
There's a reason
벗으면
he's not taking
이걸 벗으면 여기는 모두가 위험해지기 때문에.
Yes, that's exactly the reason why I'm not taking it off. Everyone will be
They
at
be
risk.
destroyed. No, I appreciate it. I listen. I assumed that was the reason.
네, 그래서 감사합니다. 네, 안 벗어주셔서.
네, 히어로의 자세죠.
That's actually the role of a hero.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate that. The reason that I mean, I think it's a combination of 2 things. I do think that the Phoenix Force senses Jean's strength, but I also think the Phoenix Force, everything in it, it's said later in the movie that everything the Phoenix Force has touched, it has destroyed until Jean. And so Jean's power is the thing that it is drawn to, and it is the thing that it can't fully destroy. She's the first thing that's been able to, even planets have been destroyed by it, which we see in the movie. But Jean is able to be inhabited by that control, that force within reason. And the reason why that it was drawn to her is because of that strength. It's because she's the most, I mean, you know the comics, she's the most powerful mutant in all of the comics. And so the Phoenix Force has just never come up against something that is as powerful as Jean.
그걸 받아줄 수 있었던 것 같아요. 그래서 결국에는 그 원래 뮤턴트 중에서도 가장 Did you take it?
I'm gonna do with a super zoom.
자, 가만히 계세요. 저희가 네.
와우.
효과
So
입혀서 드리겠습니다.
This is sort of
필터
like,
입혀서 줌.
네.
exactly. I'm gonna say watch out Ty Sheridan. That's going on my Instagram.
Wow, we'll get to see it on.
You'll see my Insta story. I'll
아,
Insta story
인스타그램에
that.
올려주신다고
Right.
합니다.
Now we know what we have to wear for this kind
You
of.
guys cosplay a little bit to these
네,
interviews.
어느 정도는 좀
Okay, about the filming the movie. Gaio has the next question for us.
저는 영화 음악을 운영하고 있는 가엘입니다. 이 다크 피니스를 촬영하면서 가장 기억에 남았던 에피소드와 그다음에 촬영하면서 가장 기억에 남았던 그러니까 가장 촬영하면서 가장 힘들었던 부분이 있었으면 말씀 좀 해주시죠.
네.
Without giving anything away, probably the most memorable for me is the last scene of the movie, which we actually shot last. It's rare to shoot in order, and the rest of it wasn't in order, but that was. And it's not a big scene. It's just between 2 characters that I've spent a lot of my life with now, without giving anything away. And because I knew that this was the culmination of this cycle of X-Men storytelling, it being the last scene in the movie and ending with actors who have become real parts of my life, and characters who become even more entrenched in my life. It was a very emotional day for me as a director. And the hardest for me was probably one moment, which is, and you've seen it in the trailer, so this isn't a spoiler. When Magneto comes through the door and that subway car comes behind him, that's a real subway car. I tried to shoot as much of this film in camera real as possible. And so we had a real size 4,000-pound subway car on a rig that would slide behind him. We had explosives in the building around him so that when it came crashing through, they would explode, the wall would explode around him. And it was supposed to stop 6 feet behind Michael Fassbender, but it slid and stopped about 6 inches behind Michael. And actually some of the wreckage that you see fall down around him is unplanned, just real wreckage where we destroyed the set. And that was very stressful. Yeah.
And we actually felt that because it looked dangerous in the scene.
And only Michael Fassbender, of anybody among us, would have a train that's out of control, 6 inches behind him and not even blink.
And about the actors, we have even this Marvel have some question about this.
네.
저는 촬영 현장 얘기가 나왔었는데, 저는 촬영 현장에서 혹시 분위기 메이크를 담당했던 배우가
네. Who actually
Good
creates
question.
the ambience?
Is that Yundu, like Yundu from Guardians of the Galaxy? Cool. Very cool. Off camera, I would say the person that steals the scenes is not somebody you would maybe expect. It's Jessica Chastain. Because Jessica's a real practical joker, so she likes to play practical jokes on the cast, and she's always kind of the silliest, even though she seems and is very serious on camera.
And about Jessica Chastain's character,
Yeah.
I believe Arunian has next question.
안녕하세요. 저 히어로 팬 아우니입니다. 저 질문 드리기에 앞서 감독으로 데뷔하신 거 축하드리고요. 그리고 지난 20년 동안 엑스맨 시리즈에 대해서 많은 노고와 헌신을 보여주신 데 대해서 감사하겠습니다.
It's like an ambassador now.
저 이번에 제시카 샤스테인이 맡은 역할이 아직 미스터리로 남아 있는데 원작에서는 약간 마스터마인드나 이제 릴랜드라에서 생각하는 맥락이 있어요. 그래서 이 둘을 합친 건지 아니면 또 어떤 다른 캐릭터를 염두에 두고 만드신 건지 거기에 대해서 조금만 힌트를 좀 주실 수 있나 여쭤보고 싶습니다.
My concept was, if I were to make it, like I was saying before, if I were to have the entire Hellfire Club story of Mastermind, Jason Wingard, the entire Lilandra story and the Shi'ar and her relationship with Charles, there just wouldn't be enough movie left for the Jean story. And so what I wanted to do to stay true to the essence of the comic and pay homage to the comic was merge those characters into a single villain in the movie. You could operate somewhat like Lilandra with some of Lilandra's backstory, somewhat like Mastermind with some of Mastermind's powers, and a couple other characters that from the Dark Phoenix saga over the years that we brought to it, and then also some originality as well. But it is a combination of different inspiration from the Dark Phoenix saga.
Unfortunately, they're just telling me to wrap things up.
Sorry.
So before we finish everything, can you just give you a quick last question?
Sure.
무비 러봉님, 네, 마지막 질문하고 저 인사 부탁드려야 될 것 같아요.
저는 블로그 모빌러봉이라고 합니다. 제가 드릴 질문은 엑스맨 시리즈의 피날레를 장식하기는 막중한 임무를 맡으셨는데 영화의 개봉을 앞두고 이 시리즈가 관객들에게 어떻게 기억되기를 원하시는지.
I mean, I guess I'd want it to be remembered as a franchise that Bryan Singer started, that changed the way superhero movies or comic book movies were treated. That they were treated seriously as any other kind of genre, first and foremost. And then the other part I'd want people to remember and hold on to is that it's a franchise about outcasts and outsiders, people who are different, who come together to form a family. And that I feel in some ways I've been a part of that family since I was a kid reading the comics. I've become a real part of that family in making the movies, with these actors and with the crews. And the fans have become a huge part of that family because we think about you guys as we're making these movies, and your love of these films is what has kept these films alive. And so that's what I would want people to remember, is that the X-Men are a family that is bigger than the comic and bigger than the cast and the crew and the filmmakers. It is inclusive of every fan in the world. And we, every time we release one of these movies and we see fan responses, just going to see the movies, whether they like them or they don't like them, and sometimes you guys are right not to like them. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you guys. Thank you for doing this. Thanks for being here.
네, 그래요. 보셨죠? 굉장히 편하게 앉아있다 왔어요. 감독님 그냥 구경하다 왔어요. 그런 자리에 또 초대해 주셔서 감사하다는 말씀 드리고요. 덕분에 재밌는 경험하고 왔습니다. 그럼 저는 제가 보여드리고 싶은 영상 오늘 다 보여드렸으니까 이쯤에서 인사드리고요. 다음번 다른 영상으로 인사드리도록 하겠습니다. 아, 근데 가시기 전에 오늘 영상을 처음 보시는 분이 계시다면 말씀드렸다시피 구독하고 알람 설정하고 좋아요와 댓글 남겨주실 것을 믿으며, 지금까지 전 천재이승국의 이승국이었고요. 모르셨겠지만 여러분은 지금까지 이승국쇼를 함께 하셨습니다. 감사합니다. 바이바이.